Well, Jeff and I are at a new spot today. Now what I want to do is I'm going to use the metal detector. This place I'm sure gets hit pretty hard. So I'm going to use the metal detector and try to pinpoint the smaller crevices that's got iron or lead in them. But what I want to do in the process is show you what I look for so you can do the same thing with or without a metal detector. So let's take a look at the overall area first. Now Jeff is right there, and you can see the hillsides coming down here. We're looking downstream, and then out here is the beginning of the gravel bar. The water is just about level with the top of the gravel bar. Now as we come upstream, now you'll notice right in this area we have sand building up. Now right even with me, we have clean bedrock, which tells us that gets hit hard. Now as we go upstream, you'll notice that there's no rocks. But on the other side, we have a gravel bar. Now we know with a gravel bar on the other side, that's the tail end of the slow water. This is being hit with fast water, but it's making the shift right here. The majority of the gold is going to be right in the middle of the river, right in between the two as it crosses, and it'll be coming to this side as you go downstream. So since we got the metal detector, we're looking for larger gold. So I want to go up a little further up to where at least we start seeing some gravel on the rocks. So let's go upstream, see what we can find. Can you see the lizard right there? He's not moving a muscle. Now I wanted to stop here and show you this. We've gone maybe 100 feet upstream. We got all kinds of rocks in here. Problem is, these are not river washed rocks. This is busted up bedrock that's come down off the hill over the years and is just sitting here. So this tells me this gets a good enough flow that all the light stuff is gone, but for some reason or other, the river's not putting any gravel here. And the gold is in the gravel, so we've got to find that gravel. So let's keep on heading up. It's looking better. See if we can find some gravel on the bedrock. Now, I don't know how well it's showing it, but we have gravel right here. And we have a few bushes starting. Okay, what this tells me, the fact that there's some shrubs starting, they're young, so in a big flood, this gets washed clean. But more importantly, the fact that there is a little bit of gravel, not much, there's a little, that's telling me at least I know gravel is going over this bedrock during high water. And that's what we need to know, is the fact that gravel went over it. Now the gold will stay, even though the majority of the gravel will keep going. So let's grab the metal detector, test this theory out. Now right here, we have a very light target. Now that target is in a really, really small crevice here. I would call it more of a crack than a crevice, which most people are going to ignore. Now I've seen several crevices here that have been dug out. So we know there's been other people in here working. And for as clean as this area is, they probably had a detector, because this is the first target that I've come across, and it's pretty light. Now, I've gone over this in a lot of my other videos, but if I'm in an area where I know people are going regularly and I see crevices that have been opened, I don't waste my time on the large crevices. This is what I look for. This crevice is only as wide as a handle at the widest part, so it's pretty small. Now, the other thing is we're not going to worry about what the target is. The fact that there's something metallic here, which is heavier than the gravel, is reason enough to just go ahead and pry everything out of here. And that's another thing we got to look for, the fact that we have river gravel and it's packed in here. Because if it's not, that means somebody's beat you to it. And we got gravel and it's packed. So what we're going to do, we're just going to dig this out, throw it in the pan, and we're packed in there pretty good. But the main thing is we want to see if there's any fine gold in here with the target, whatever the target is. Kind of getting my hopes up on this one. If you think it's gold, it never is. Now you can see that this crevice, or hopefully you can, this crevice we cleaned out here is really, really small. But we ended up with, a quarter of a pan of material, which isn't bad. Okay, I'm gonna take this down, pan it, I'll be right back. Well, we got gold. We got one, I wouldn't call it a big piece, but so far today it's a monster nugget. And one piece of lead, which was probably our target. And then a few pieces of finer gold. Let me show you. You can see here we got one big flake. There's our lead, but you can see we also got a lot of fine pieces all through here. Okay, well, I'm gonna go grab the snuffer bottle, clean this up, and then we will continue the search. Almost forgot. Before I clean this up, I want to show you the black sand. That's what we need to pay attention to, is the coarseness of the black sand. You want to, whenever you find gold, you want to pay attention to as many things around that gold as you can. And one of them is the lay of the land, the size of the rocks, and the coarseness of the black sand. Because that way you can follow that coarseness back into the gold. All right, now I don't know how well it's showing it, but you can see here, the black sand is not real coarse, but I would say that was, middle of the road. It's by no means fine. Right here's one thing I always look for. This is a dead bush, shrub, or whatever. Well, this being in here and being dead like this tells me that nobody's cleaned at least this area in a long time. And being dead, we can just take the hammer and knock this thing out. So we're not even going to bother metal detecting this. We're just going to knock this thing out, see what's in here. Now hopefully we can break this out of here. Now the fact we got gravel in here, large gravel in here, that's good. Now I'm just going to pull everything down into this hole. And we'll dig it out of there. Got our first pan out of there. Now the top had gravel, but once you got down below that root, it turned into this really fine sand dirt, which is not too good. So we're going to pan this out. This will tell us whether or not we want to get serious about this crevice or not. Fairly good spread, but all really light, flat flakes. Oh, and if you'll notice, our black sand is lighter, a lot finer, along with the finer gold. Okay, well, we did find some gold, so what I think I'm going to do is come in here and clean just the bottom of this and see if it's just that light sandy stuff, then we're not going to worry about it. If there's some gravel in here, then we'll dig it out and pan it. Okay, well, I got that cleaned out. Don't have much hope for it. It's pretty light sandy stuff. But we'll check it, see if it's got any fine stuff in it. Right down in that light sandy stuff, there's one speck in here that you probably can't even see. But what I want to show you is the black sand, the difference in the black sand. I don't know how well you can see it, but that black sand is just super fine. We don't have much time left, and I'm going to put my sweatshirt back on. It's getting kind of chilly. So I think I'm going to grab the camera, move it out of the way, and just go over this whole area, see if we can turn up a target with the metal detector. Well, I just discovered that my sound was shut off. I forgot I'd turned it off. So I'm not sure how much the last segment had sound, but here's what's going on. I went over the whole area, only had one target, and that was right over here. Now I did put the mic in the headphones so you could hear the target, but I don't think the sound was on. But right now, I'm digging up the target, so let's do that, see if we can find what the target is. And now there was a few rocks jammed in here, but not enough, which is really making me think my target was probably a fishing weight. But we'll find out. Okay, let's check, see if we got it. Well, looks like we haven't moved it. Let's keep digging. We want to get this rock out of here. Oh, problem is that rock is part of the bedrock. Problem is when you move your material around a lot like this, you are classifying it and settling the gold. So your gold's getting closer and closer onto the bedrock, which is going to make it harder and harder to get out of there. Okay, one more time, see if we got it. Well, I'm getting worried it's going to get dark before I get this thing out of here. Aha. I think I found it. And I think it's lead. And boy, is it jammed in there. Yep, there it is. Looks like a 22 bullet. Well, we're still going to bust that up a little bit. If it's got a piece of lead jammed down in there like that, maybe there could be a piece of gold down there too. We got to make sure there's nothing underneath that lead. Now if you look, once I broke that up, we actually got a small crevice down there. Actually, I I think there's a piece of gold down there. Let me get the camera down here. It is a piece of gold. I don't know if you can see that right there. I've scratched it up pretty good, but it jammed way down in there. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go get my little crevice pick to get that out of those. This thing's too dull. I'll be right back. Well, I got the pick and Jeff, and that thing was jammed in there, and I mean, I had some serious pressure on it, and when it popped, it shot out of there, and now we can't find it. So I'm going to grab the metal detector, and it's pretty small though, so I don't know if the metal detector is going to pick it up or not, but we'll look. Found it, metal detector picked it up, and it's pretty mangled, but it's a piece of gold. Let me show you. There's the side that got hit. And that's the side that was down in the crevice. Okay, well, I'm going to put this in the jar before I drop it again and lose it. I wimped out. I had to put my sweatshirt back on. One thing I wanted to show you is right behind me here is the end of a log. That's how high the water's been. So this whole area had a good 4 feet, 5 feet of water flowing through here. And that's just this winter. And we didn't have any big storms this winter. Then now, went over that area, nothing. Jeff moved the rock. I checked where the rock was, and it was a target, and it sounds good. Sounds like either gold or lead. So since Jeff moved the rock, it's his target. So hopefully he can pull a chunk of gold out of it. You got it? All right, it's in the scoop. He's not hollering, so I'm assuming it's lead.
Lead.
Got lead. Finish checking the area, see if we can come up with another target. We gotta find at least one more piece of gold. Well, we went over that area, had one really light target, broke some of the bedrock that was protruding out, and it kept getting louder, but it was down in the brush. So Jeff held the brush back and ran the metal detector while I took the hammer and beat things, and we dug it out and finally got it out, and Jeff's got a piece of gold. Let me show you. Now it's a nice little chunky piece, which is what you would expect since, you know, we're in the fast water area. The sun is just about ready to go behind the hills, so we only got maybe at the most 15-20 minutes before we're going to have to get out of here. We're going to go over this area best we can, see if there's any more targets. If we turn up another target, I'll turn the camera on. If not, I'll see you back at the house. Back at the house, and you guessed it, it's the next day. And we went over that area, no more targets, so had to get out of there. Okay, well, I got that gold I found cleaned up, and also got Jeff's gold. We filmed it before he left. So let's jump over the scale, see how we did. And here we have Jeff's gold, and looks like he's got 0.25 grams. Okay, let's see how much we got. We ended up with 0.81 grams, or 0.52 pennyweights. Well, half a pennyweight, I am really okay with that. This time of year with the high water and the rains and everything, the fact that I come home with anything is just, you know, I'm happy with anything. Now, with the high water,
and the rains we've been getting, it makes it kind of tough to do the crevicing and stuff like that because everything's so wet. So we're kind of stuck up on the bank for another month or so, I think. And I really want to do some videos on finding gold on a gravel bar. Different methods to locate and recover some gold off a gravel bar, but a little tough right now. And then I want to do, don't ask me why, but I just have the urge to go out with nothing but a gold pan and a crevice tool and just see what we can find. So got those in the work, but Mother Nature's got to cooperate. So right now, I think we're kind of stuck on the bank for another month or so. Okay, well, that's all I got for this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.